So Suzanne Hunter here at the Holistic Centre in the heart of Godalming as part of the Good Health Guide series, and I'm delighted to have with me Vinciane Ollington. Nice to talk to you today.
Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, you are very passionate. In the short time that I've known you, you're really the go-to person for any kind of issues, really, on homeopathy. And where did this passion first start for you?
Homeopathy came about because of my own health. 22 years ago, after the birth of my second child, I developed an overactive thyroid gland. And consulting various endocrinologists after a few months, they all said that thyroid gland had to be surgically removed because it would never go back to normal, never operate normally. And I rebelled against that, and I went to see a homeopath instead. And my thyroid gland, all those years later, still functioned beautifully. But I was a convert, and I went on to study homeopathy in this country to become a homeopath.
Wonderful, because it is very big, very well known in Belgium, where you hail from, I believe. Did you find it quite so popular in the UK? Or?
Not as popular at all. In Belgium, to practice homeopathy, you need to be a medically qualified doctor. And because of that, homeopathy is more revered and respected, and also Social Security reimburses it. While here in the UK, yes, the NHS could offer homeopathy, but you really had to insist to be sent to the homeopathic hospital in London. And sadly, since November 17, that's not even possible anymore. So the only way you can consult a homeopath is to pay for it privately.
Yes, and it's something that people can, they can self-prescribe themselves. They can.
Very much so, because seeing a homeopath can be expensive in the long run, and I'm not interested in patient coming and calling me for a cough or cold, this and that. So I teach a self-prescribing course, which can be attended by anybody, and I had lots of therapists attending it just to know a bit more about homeopathy, but I had loads of mothers of young children attending it, because they could see that having their children going to the doctor every time with a cough, a cold, or an earache, and every time being given antibiotics was not the way forward. So to those mothers, in just one day, I give them the confidence to prescribe homeopathic remedies for their little child. And of course, I support them as well. They can still call me, email me, and I will confirm the remedy. But I've got quite a lot of mothers now who are really convert and just bring up their children like I did, just on homeopathy.
It's wonderful, isn't it? But of course, this is not a new therapy. This has been going on for generations. Tell us about the forefathers of homeopathy.
Homeopathy, even before Christ, Hippocrates, the first doctor with documented evidence of cures, could see that there was two ways of treating people, the way of the opposite. We do know that way because when you go to the doctor, you are constipated, they give you a laxative, or you've got too much histamine because of a fever, they give you antihistamine. That's the way of the opposite, which is very much in use by today's medicine. But Hippocrates realized there was the way of the similar to treat people as well. And that thinking has been very much taken on by Samuel Hahnemann in the 1800s, who was a doctor in Saxony. And he realized that medicine in those days, which was bloodletting, purging, lots of side effects. Yes, leeches, and not very effective. He realized that homeopathy, treating like with like, the way of the similar, was more useful to use and reach more cures than the way of the opposite. So he put all that in a book, documented it very well. The book is called The Organon of Medicine. And so for 200 years, we've been following what Hahnemann said, and all the remedies that he recommended. They are still valid today, those remedies. But over the course of 200 years, many more remedies have been added to that materia medica. So yes, 200 years. And the country using homeopathy the most in the world is India, where there are 250,000 homeopathic doctors.
Really? Oh,
England is far behind.
Yes, absolutely. But of course, it seems logical in a way, homeopathy, because when you have a headache, tell us about what you would use for a headache.
Yes, it's very logical. A headache, many people know it, but they don't address the problem. Quite often a headache is caused by dehydration because you haven't drunk enough water, because you've been too busy, too stressed, and then you've got a headache. And then the majority of people just take Nurofen, paracetamol without thinking twice. I recommend them to take a homeopathic remedy called Brownia. And Brownia is a remedy for anything to do with dehydration. And as a homeopathic pill, it will make your headache disappear in no time at all. Much, much better than taking Nurofen. It just goes with the body. The body was producing a headache to say you are dehydrated. Brownia just helps rehydrating the system. Could make you more thirsty. It depends on the person, but the headache will disappear in a natural way.
It's very fascinating. When we spoke before, we were talking about, obviously a lot of women will relate, with period pains and that kind of thing. And you have one, even the cuttlefish that can help you.
The ink of the cuttlefish is a lovely, lovely remedy, produce a lovely remedy called sepia. And sepia is the number one remedy to balance female hormones, to make sure everything is in balance, everything is fine. And of course, us women, we go through a cycle. Every month our hormones are all changing, estrogen, progesterone, and in the 2 weeks before periods, some women can experience very bad premenstrual tension, during which they are very irritable, they shout at the children for no reason and feel guilty afterwards. If they were to take sepia as a remedy, just once a day for those 2 weeks before periods, it would be a totally different picture. And sepia is even excellent for women after childbirth to prevent postnatal depression. Wonderful remedy for that.
It's wonderful, and of course people who like wildlife programmes, David Attenborough, will know the cuttlefish emits a kind of ink when it wants to defend itself. So it's quite sort of psychologically true when you've got a period, you want to hide away, don't you?
Yes, very much. And us women are very good at what we call clouding the issue. When the husband or partner says, "Are you all right? You seem a bit irritable," and we always say, "No, of course I'm fine. Of course I'm fine." That's very clouding the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course with the homeopathy, do people ever get symptoms that come back again, and like any kind of healing crisis?
There can be healing crises. Not if you prescribe homeopathy like I teach it for acute disease, the chicken pox, the cold, the sore throat, you just get better, or not if it's the wrong remedy, but then you change remedy, you get better eventually. But if it's a deep-seated problem that you've had for many years, that have been covered with steroid cream or whatever other medication, like for example an eczema, as a practicing homeopath, I have to always be very careful because I don't want my patient to go through a healing crisis. Because a healing crisis is when things get worse before they get better. So to minimize that, in the case, for example, of eczema, I will always give some homeopathic remedy to really support the excretion organ, that is the colon, the liver, the kidney, so that when toxins are released in the course of a cure, those toxins are released through the normal channel rather than going through the skin and causing more itchiness.
Yes, it's important to flush out, isn't it, when you're doing this? But it's not like you're going to have that kind of reaction where it's going to make you want to go to the toilet a lot. It's a very gentle form, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is so subtle, homeopathy, that I have a lot of patients, I see them in consultation, give them a prescription that they take, they come back 6 weeks later, and they say, nothing has changed. But I've got my notes, and I say, "Oh, what about your sleep? You were complaining, you didn't sleep so." "Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my sleep has been quite good these days." "And what about your bowel? You were a bit constipated." No problem that side. And they are amazed that in fact they have improved, but they have not realized they've improved because it has been so subtle, because it was just the body doing it gradually as needed. Because I keep saying, in homeopathy, it's not the pill that makes you better. The pill triggers a healing reaction in the body, and it is that reaction that makes you better. So the body will do it in its own way, in its own time, more rapidly for children, because they are full of vitality, a bit more slowly for adults, but we will get there with nearly everybody.
Yeah, it's wonderful news, isn't it? It is for everybody, really, isn't it? And of course, you say it's like a pill, but how does it actually come, the homeopathic remedy?
So to make a homeopathic pill, for example, take the example of arnica, because lots of people know arnica, which exists as a cream, but exists as a homeopathic pill to cure a physical trauma from inside, so that blueness from when you hurt yourself will disappear more quickly, or to use after surgery to recover more quickly. Arnica is a plant that grows in a mountain, and the homeopathic pharmacist will make a mud tincture of that plant, so that's marinating the plant in alcohol for several days or weeks, and then they strain that and they end up with mud tincture, which is very concentrated, full of alcohol. That's what's mixed with cream to make a arnica cream. But to make a homeopathic remedy, we take the mud tincture, take 1 drop of mud tincture, 99 drops of water, we shake it 100 times, and that makes the potency 1C, 1 in 100, 1 centesimal. And then we take a drop of 1C, 99 drops of water, shake it violently, it's the potency 2C. But then if you are a chemist and you are good at math, you will know that after the potency 12C, there is no molecule left of the original arnica plant in that remedy. And yet it still works. And what you buy in health food shop these days, or homeopathic pharmacy for acute trauma, is arnica 30C. It has been diluted 1 in 100 30 times. And yet it still works, and it works better than the 12C or the 6C. So the more diluted, but then the more potentized and shaken and energy given to the mixture, the better and the deeper it works in the body. And of course, when you end up with a liquid remedy, you use that liquid remedy to wet all those little sugar pills, and that's how we end up with pills which are more easy to dispense than liquid remedies.
It's quite a lot for people to get their head around, isn't it? To realise that they're ingesting energy.
Absolutely.
Really, the energy of the plant.
Yes.
Because of the higher concentration
of energy. So it's less concentration of the plant, but more energy put in that remedy, and it's the energy that makes you better.
Yes, it's fantastic. So this is in a sugar pill, but for people who are a bit worried about the sugar, it's a very small amount of sugar, I believe.
Very, very small amount of sugar, and people who are really totally sugar-free, we can dispense the remedies as a liquid remedy, of course.
Because you have tissue salts as well. Are they different?
Tissue salts are totally different. Tissue salts were developed by Dr. Schussler and maybe 150 years ago, because he realized that some disease happen when there is a lack of some nutrient in the body. So he was well in advance of the nutritional therapist of today. So it was not the era of supplement and all that, but he developed a range of tissue salt, 12 of them, all based of minerals that we need in the body, like magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, iron. All those minerals, he put them into remedies, but he only diluted and potentized them 1 in 10, 6 times. So there is still enough mineral in a tissue salt to act as a bit of a supplement, but because it has been potentized, shaken 100 times, 6 times, then it's like a mineral with oomph. It really ensures that all the nutrients you get from your diet or from the supplement you take from the nutritional therapist, those tissue salts ensure that all those minerals are used by the part of the body that needs it and are properly absorbed. And that's beautiful, because when you buy supplement from a health food shop, you are never sure that your digestive system will totally break them down and that they will be properly absorbed by your body. But with tissue salt, you don't have that problem at all, because it's a totally different way of acting, but just ensuring your minerals are where they are needed in the body.
It's so crucial, isn't it? Because not many people are scientists out there to know how much they need to take, and you could worry about overdosing, but you just can't overdose with homeopathy.
You can never overdose with energy, isn't it? I say to people, if you take a whole bottle of homeopathic pill or just one pill, it's still 1 dose of energy. So there is no worries of little children going into mummy's pharmacy and eating all those remedies. Not a worry at all. If it's the wrong remedy, nothing will happen. And if it's all a tube, it's like 1 pill or the whole tube, same thing.
The worst thing that will happen is you'll get healthier.
Yes, exactly. No, exactly that. Absolutely.
And of course, because the thing is also with vitamins, you just never know how much you're taking. Yes. And so this actually works it all out for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Yes. So homeopathy, it's treating like with like. So it's a very difficult concept to understand. For example, if you see somebody and they've got a hay fever attack and they are there and a bit of red eyes, a bit of runny nose, they could be sneezing, and you look at them and they look like they've just been peeling an onion. So, because they look like that, of course, they've not been peeling an onion. It's the attack of hay fever that makes them look like that. But the remedy to help them in that hay fever attack is a remedy called allium cepa, which is made from onion. Or, for example, if I see people with very itchy skin because of an allergic reaction or some sort, I could give them a remedy called urtica, which is a remedy made from nettles, because nettles make your skin itchy. So a good remedy for itchy skin is made from nettle called urtica.
It's strange, isn't it? Because people would think, I'm going to start getting that nettle itchy reaction, but actually it works the complete opposite by being so similar, rather than the anti-inflammatory, the anti, all the different things that you get from the doctors.
It's like showing the body how to get better. The body wants to get better. There is inflammation, yes, so it's itchy, but taking nettles on top of that is like, teaching the body that's what you need to do. It's like that itchiness that you've got. Just do what you normally do when you are stung by a nettles. It never lasts. The stung by nettles goes within 1 day. So if you've got an itchiness and you put the nettle remedy, you give the nettle remedy, the immune system will understand what to do. The homeopathic remedy is teaching, showing the way to the immune system about how to do
So you need not worry the fact you're going to get a reaction like the stinging. In fact, it's going to do the very opposite by mimicking almost what it's doing.
And that's why you could have a bit of a healing crisis. But as I say, if it's an acute problem, it never is bad. For chronic problem, it's better to consult a homeopath who knows what they are doing.
Yeah, so like you say, I mean, people come to you individually, or do you have courses? Obviously, do you self-prescribed?
So I do my self-prescribed course, definitely. And of course, I see people in consultation. And some people say, but if you do the self-prescribed courses, then your practice will suffer. And I say, not at all. I do the self-prescribed courses because I'm passionate about people understanding they can help themselves. So once they understand they can help themselves for the sore throat, the cold, the cough, the indigestion, they will realize how powerful homeopathy is, and so they will consult me for deep-seated problems like depression, anxiety, migraines, eczema, asthma, you name it. Homeopathy can treat anything.
So you could use these alongside some distressing chronic conditions, like heart issues or skin issues and cancers maybe even?
Absolutely. When people have got cancer, they normally choose to have chemotherapy, radiotherapy. Homeopathy can help them with the side effect of all those treatments.
Exactly, help the body to balance itself.
Yes.
Now, some people might be familiar with the Bach flower remedies and the Australian bush flowers, but of course the way in which they are formulated is very different. What other differences are there from homeopathy to those?
So the Bach flower remedy or Australian bush flower are treating essentially emotional problem. So Dr. Bach, who was a homeopath, went into the English countryside and saw those lovely flowers and realized that there is energy, natural energy emanating from them. So he developed the Bach flower remedy, where the flower has been marinated in alcohol and then strained, and that's the remedy used. So it has not been potentized like the homeopathic remedies have been potentized. But because of the natural energy from a flower, I mean, you look at a flower, you can already feel the energy. So getting that in a few drops under the tongue can help with emotional symptoms. So Bach flowers are totally complementary to homeopathic remedies.
Yes, and it's something that's easy to take as well. Do you just take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach?
Yes, so homeopathic remedy, you take them not with food, so you take them on an empty stomach, or if you've just eaten, you wait 20 minutes, then you take your homeopathic pill. It's very easy and it's quickly absorbed by the body. Children love it because it tastes sweet, not a problem.
It's lovely to know that you can take your health into your own hands with your expert guidance, because you're so passionate about this subject. It's just amazing, isn't it?
As I keep saying, we had 3 children who are 24, 22 and 18 years old, never had antibiotics in their life, never missed a day at school, poor them. But that's because they had chickenpox during the holidays.
Yeah, my mum's a homeopath, that's why I don't miss school.
Absolutely, and it's totally possible. And I want people to take their health in their own hand, not to rush to the doctor every 5 minutes. It's wrong.
It's very empowering, isn't it? You've got something there, and there's so many homeopathic remedies. How many are there that you can take?
more than 2,000-3,000.
Wow.
But when I teach my course, I limit it to 42 remedies, well-known remedies that will deal with most problems.
Absolutely fascinating. Well, I'm a convert to tissue salts and homeopathic remedies, and I'm sure you'll have a wonderful benefit if you do come to the Holistic Centre and talk to Vinciane, come on her self-prescribed course or come and talk to her one-to-one. To go there, it's www.holisticcentre.co.uk. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank
Absolutely
you, Suzanne.
fascinating.
Thank